I miss New York so much, so this week we are going to be reading books set in New York City. I've read a lot of books set in New York and I never get sick of the setting. I love it in every single book. In real life, New York feels like a character. In these books, it feels like a character. And so we are going to be reading a bunch of different books that are set in the Big Apple. I'm so excited. I went to New York last November and I miss it. Yes, let's escape to New York in some books. The side eye. It is later and I am really enjoying this book. It is so good. I don't know what she put into this book. I'm enjoying it a lot more than her other book, Promise Me Sunshine, and I enjoyed that book a lot as well, so that is saying something. And it's really interesting too because this book is about Eve and she is pregnant accidentally from a one-night stand, and that is basically the whole point of the story. And normally I don't like accidental pregnancies, but I think what I like about this is that it's not willy-nilly thrown in halfway through the book, accidental pregnancy. It's a big part of the plot and a part of her development, and I'm just really having a good time with it. It's super interesting. Our female main character is super interesting. It seems like she has an interesting background and kind of how she was born and brought into the world and her family dynamics, and I think she really feels alone in the world, and so it's really interesting to see that play out. There's also a lot of fun side characters and then those relationships and the dynamics within those relationships that get brought up that are interesting points throughout the book too. Oh, the love interest. I'm so obsessed. He is so sweet to her. He wants her around and like wants to hang out with her, and I'm like, oh. In the chapter I read before I started talking to you guys, the things he said, they weren't even that monumental, but they were just so sweet, and I was just so giddy after reading them. Yeah, I don't know what she put into this book, but it's a good one. There has been like a little bit of New York. The main characters live in Brooklyn. We've seen go to a couple markets, you know, them at their place of work, but it hasn't been like New York. Like a little bit, but not overly in your face. I have a feeling as I keep reading, the characters will do more around the city. Even if they don't, I'm still having a really good time. So with that, I'm gonna keep reading and I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. So it's been a few days. I am now at my parents' and I am basically almost done with this book. I have maybe 20-ish pages left, but I am absolutely loving this book. I love the character development and what she's realized about herself and how the pregnancy has helped her and changed the way she's seen things and seen people and the world and herself and what she wants out of life, even just wanting in general. It's a really beautiful story. I love the romance. It's so sweet. I am all for a male main character that is so down bad for the female main character, and this guy is so in love with her. He would literally do anything for her, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I love him. This is amazing. There's not that many pages left, so I think it's just gonna be an interesting last couple chapters, but yeah, I'm gonna keep reading and I will give you guys my final thoughts and rating when I finish, probably tomorrow because it's later now. I'm probably gonna read this and watch the sunset because, I mean, I'm on the lake. Gotta watch the sunset. So let's keep reading. I finished Ready or Not, and it's been a few days, but I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. It was such a good time. I loved the relationship. The male main character was so sweet, and I loved the storyline and character development of our female main character. I just had a really good time, and I felt safe while reading this book, if that makes sense. I feel like I kind of said all the things I loved about it in the previous clips too, so if you've been thinking of reading this book, I highly recommend. It's so sweet and it's so weird. I normally don't enjoy pregnancy tropes, but I loved this one. And Carol Stone is now definitely an auto-buy author for me. And then I started Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and I'm about 70 pages in. I'm on chapter 5, and it's really interesting. It's definitely more of a character study. There's not much plot yet. I'm not sure if more plot comes up later in the book, but yeah, having a good time, and I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll let you guys know kind of more what it's about and more thoughts when I'm a little further along. Hello, I am halfway through chapter 10, I think? Yeah. There's literally no plot. It's just vibes. This is a total character study. You have this over-the-top cast of characters in New York City, and I definitely do love how the setting shines through in this book, but the characters are just so flawed and interesting and unique. But I'm not really gripped by anything, and I think that's because there's literally no plot. The writing is good though, and again, the characters are interesting. It's just not my favorite, honestly. I'm trying to think of what I would rate it, and it's not high, but I would recommend this book to a certain type of reader. We have a guest. Say hi, Thor. Say hi. He doesn't like to be held, but he'll lay on me, as you guys see. I've actually been listening to it on audio, and I feel like that has helped me because when I'm reading, the chapters are quite long, and again, there's no like really gripping aspect to this novel. It just makes you think, which I don't hate. I actually really enjoy, but yeah, I don't know. I thought there'd be more of a plot, but it's just vibes. I'm gonna keep reading. Hopefully I'll finish it tonight. I'm gonna listen to it and do some stuff around the house, and I'll probably read the physical copy too later, but it's an interesting time. I'll say that. And it's just interesting because the characters are interesting. Like if the characters were interesting, this book would be so blah. But it's not because, again, the characters are interesting. Anyways, did I even tell you guys what it's about? So it's about Cleo and Frank. They meet New Year's Eve, whirlwind, New York City night. And 6 months later, they're married. And there's quite an age gap as well. So you get their perspectives. It's mostly in third person. And then this was actually kind of jarring. There was like one first person point of view, like 100 pages into the book. And I was like, what the heck? But anyways, you get their perspective, you get some of their friends, some of their family's perspective as well in this book. So overall, it's just these two people who came together, and they're not perfect. They're extremely flawed, and how their flaws kind of play out in their lives and the people they know, what happens with them. So yeah, interesting character study. Really enjoying this author's writing, so that's good. I'm gonna keep reading. We'll hopefully finish tonight, like I said, and we can get to potentially our final book. I had 2 that I wanted to read, but I don't know if I want to read the second one because I've read a book by that author before, and I think I gave it 2 stars. So, but we'll see. Okay, bye! I did end up finishing Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I do think that the latter half of the book was definitely more entertaining and, you know, had some more surprises and twists. I like where we ended up. Really interesting dynamic characters set in New York City. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. I feel like the New York City felt very real in this book, whereas sometimes a romance book is going to romanticize the city, as it should, but I love romanticizing New York, even though it's stinky, it's overpopulated and crowded as shiz, but I still love the city. So I love when books romanticize New York. This is definitely a real look at some people in New York, drugs, crime, interesting relationships, but still a really good read. I thought it was very well written, and I would probably pick up one of her other books. Again, it just wasn't my favorite. It didn't grip me at all because there was no plot. It was very, very character driven, which is fine, but if you like character studies with kind of out there interesting characters and relationships, this would be a good book for you. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Again, good time. Not standout. Will I ever pick this up again? Probably not, but who knows? Never say never. Happy I finally read this and read this author because I wanted to read Blue Sisters, but I had this book. So I'm like, I should read this first and see how I feel about her writing. But yeah, I'm excited to read more of her works. So that is our second book of the video, and I did actually start our next book already. I'm only 20 pages in. It is Passion Project. I'm reading it on my Kindle. Again, only 20 pages in, just getting the feel of this. I believe this is about a girl who is kind of down in the dumps, lives in New York City, is down in the dumps because something horrible happened in her life, and then she meets someone and they start off as maybe friends and come up with like a list to kind of bring a little spark back in her life, or passion project. So I'm just, like I said, getting into it. I'm enjoying her writing so far. I've never read her writing before. This book just came out earlier this year, so I'm curious if she has other books. Oh, she's based in New York. Okay, no, this is her first novel. Passion Project is her first novel. Okay, that's exciting. Okay, fun. I'm already enjoying it, so gonna keep reading and I'll update you guys along the way. Hello, I am like 80% of the way through Passion Project and I'm just having the most wonderful time. I feel like this is such a great debut novel. It's very well written. I'm enjoying the characters. I'm curious about their journey. I'm invested in the relationship that has been forming and what's gonna happen and our main character's involvement. So it's overall just a really great time. I am clearly loving it. The New York setting is so vibrant. It feels like a love letter to New York. I've read in like the author's bio or whatever that she lives in New York, so she's very familiar with the city, and that really shines through in this book. I love it, love it, love it so much. I love things set in New York, as is the purpose of this video. But yeah, this has been my favorite way New York has been portrayed out of all 3 of the books we've read so far. Although I do think Ready or Not was wonderful too. I feel like this is just a little heavier on the New York setting, which is what I wanted, and I'm happy about it. There's just something about a good romance that gets me going, and that's what this is. I just needed a good romance, and it's feeding me. It's doing everything I want it to. I feel like I don't really have any complaints. I feel like there's a few conflicts that are interesting in terms of where they're put in the book, but I like it. We'll see how I feel in this last 20 or so percent, but I'm gonna keep reading tonight and I'll probably update you when I finish. I'm so excited. I love this book. I finished Passion Project last night and I really enjoyed it. I didn't love the end, but it was still really good. I'm now trying to think if I want to rate it a 4 stars or a 3.5, but I feel like I liked it more than Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and I gave that a 3.5, so maybe that's a 3 star and this is a 4, or like a 3.75. I think it's a 3.75, but I hate giving things that little of ranking, but I always think of what I've rated other books, 4 stars or 3.5 stars. I always do it in relation to what I've read before, which probably isn't the best thing, and if I liked it more or less than that book, but I don't know. I'll think on it a little bit, and editing Emily will put it on the screen. But yeah, I had a really good time. It was really fun. Again, I thought it was a great debut novel, and I'm excited to read what else this author puts out because this was a really good time, and I hope she puts out more stories in New York. But I feel like we read so many fun New York books in this video, and there's literally so many books I have read with New York settings that are also incredible. I'll put them up on the screen here. I just love escaping to the city through a book. I miss the city. This was a lot of fun. Let me know if I should do a part 2 or if there's another city that I should read where books take place. Maybe London. I loved London, or any other city really. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. If you are new here and haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe, stick around, feel free to give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!